here. So just good morning. If you're here for the first time, I'm Bullhorn Betty. This is the Bullhorn Betty channel, and this is the Coffee Club segment of the Bullhorn Betty channel. What does that mean? Doesn't mean a whole lot. It just means a bunch of crazy folks that wake up in the morning and drink a crap load of coffee as we talk about true crime, right? We talk about true crime and other things. So today's a great day. We were feeling, like Quentin was getting justice, but barely, I guess is the way we can kind of express that. Quentin was a 20-month-old child that lost his life. He was reported missing on October 5th. Dolly, Vision, and I got into town. I got there on October 5th. Sorry, I'm pushing this along, aren't I? October 5th, we got into town October 11th and October 12th, respectively. And as soon as we pretty much picked up Dolly from the airport, we were having press conference notifications that there was going to be a press conference. And the press conference was going to be about Quentin Simon. We learned at that press conference that Leilani Simon was the only person named as a suspect in this case. Mind you, we went out there with missing person flyers. We knew something was not right. I mean, that's the whole reason why I went out there, is because I already knew before I left here something wasn't right with the daughter's statements. I knew that Billy Joe was out of town, but it wasn't until I got into town that I realized that Leilani was targeting this specific child, that Billy Joe had custody of this child, specifically taking these children away from their mother. So you can imagine my surprise when I get into town and find out why in the world these kids were even in the custody of their mother, when their mother had been, this has been well documented throughout the court records that Leilani was abusive and using drugs in front of these children. And, again, 24 hours, literally 24 hours with our feet on the ground out there in Chatham County, we knew. We knew that this was going to be ultimately what the findings would be if they found Quentin Simon. It's kind of crazy, because when we got there, we were not expecting to have a named suspect still sitting outside of the jail cell. And it adds insult to injury. While I thank the law enforcement officers and agencies that worked hard to bring Quentin Simon home, a lot of the nonsense that went on was a direct result of the lack of leadership in that county. We heard later from No Charge Hadley, as I like to call him, even though that they're giving him a nice little, they're blowing smoke up his own little behind, okay? This whole pat on the back, you've done a great job. Yeah, you did a great job. I mean, I'm not disputing the work that your employees did under your leadership. My problem is you don't sit there and have a case built and have enough information to arrest somebody without the body and let them live outside of the house to drink, party, and have a good time while you look for a body when you had more than enough evidence to arrest her without it.